You are not stuck because you're not smart enough or lack talent. You are stuck because of these bad habits. And the worst part, these habits can feel so normal that we don't even question them. We often tell ourselves that we'll achieve everything if we just work harder, learn more, or take just a few minutes to check our phones to stay updated. It sounds logical in theory, but in practice, these small actions pile up into patterns that keep us stuck, exhausted, and far from where we want to be. In this video, I'll share 5 habits that might be holding you back, and more importantly, 5 simple ways to overcome them. Stick around till the end and you'll have a clear roadmap to finally break free and start making real progress. So let's get started. The first habit holding you back is something we're all guilty of, but most of us don't even realize its impact. Let's talk about infomania. We live in a world where information is everywhere, and it feels like we need to know everything to stay ahead. But here's the problem. Constantly consuming information, whether it's news, podcasts, or even scrolling through Instagram, tricks your brain into feeling productive. In reality, you're just overwhelmed. Research shows that consuming too much information reduces your ability to think critically and make decisions. It's like trying to listen to 3 songs at the same time. Instead of enjoying any one of them, all you get is noise and a headache. According to a study published in the Harvard Business Review, information overload can lead to lower productivity and decision paralysis, making it harder to act on what you've learned. Now, the irony is that most of this information is not even relevant to your goals. Think about it. How much of what you consumed last week did actually apply to improve your life? Probably not much. And that's the trap of infomania. It keeps you busy but not productive. Even a study by McKinsey found that professionals spend on average 11 hours per week consuming unnecessary or excessive information. That's an entire day lost every week just to content overload. The good news is that you don't need to consume everything to be informed or productive. Now, to manage this, follow the 3C approach: curate, cap, and clear. Here's how it works. To curate, you need to be selective about your information. Instead of subscribing to multiple newsletters, apps, or social media feeds, pick just 1 or 2 reliable sources that align with your goals. And then cap. Limit the time spent consuming each day. For example, set a content cap of 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes in the evening to focus on the essentials. Use apps like Pocket to save non-urgent content for later. And finally, clearing. Schedule a content detox day weekly to disconnect entirely and reset your mind. This will improve your focus, creativity, and decision making. By cutting back on unnecessary information, you are not just saving time, you are training your brain to focus on things that are actually valuable. Once you take control of your inputs, you will be surprised at how much mental clarity and productivity you gain. The next hidden obstacle that often holds you back is the knowing-doing trap. Here's a common scenario. You read a great book, attend a workshop, or watch a motivational video, and you're feeling inspired. You've gained all this valuable knowledge, and yet nothing happens. Why? This is what experts call the knowing-doing trap. It's when you accumulate knowledge but fail to put it to action, and it's more common than you think. Studies show that while 90% of people feel motivated after learning something new, less than 10% actually follow through. Why? Because knowledge feels satisfying on its own. It tricks your brain into thinking you've already made progress even when you haven't done anything. It's like buying a gym membership and feeling healthier just because you have the card in your wallet, but you've never actually stepped foot in the gym. Consider this quote from Thomas Edison: "The value of an idea lies in the using of it." It's a powerful reminder that knowledge and ideas mean nothing unless you act on them. If you're not doing anything with what you learned, it's no better than knowing nothing at all. The trap is that knowing is easy, but doing is hard. It requires effort, accountability, and sometimes stepping out of your own comfort zone. But here's how you can break free using the 3A formula: action, accountability, and activity tracking. Action. Take immediate action after learning something new. Don't wait. Apply one small actionable step right away. Accountability. Share your plans with someone who can hold you accountable, like a mentor, a friend, or an online community. And activity tracking. Use a journal or tracker to record what you've done, not just what you learned. Seeing progress will motivate you to keep going. Breaking out of the knowing-doing trap is not about perfection, it's about progress. Once you shift your focus from gathering information to taking consistent action, you will notice real change. Alright, let's move on. And the next habit keeping you stuck is something that feels productive on the surface, but is actually draining your energy. Let's face it, our world celebrates results. Whether it's getting a promotion, hitting a fitness goal, or finishing a project, we are wired to chase the next achievement. But the problem is that when your self-worth is tied entirely to what you achieve, it becomes a never-ending cycle. You feel like you always need to do more, yet you're never truly satisfied. Take Michael Phelps, for example. Despite being the most decorated Olympian in history, he openly admitted feeling lost and depressed after achieving his lifelong goals. Why? Because the chase for eternal success can become addictive, making it impossible to feel satisfied. This phenomenon is backed by science as well. Research from Harvard shows that while achieving goals releases dopamine, it's short-lived. Once the moment passes, your brain starts looking for the next big thing, keeping you in a cycle of never enough. And instead of feeling fulfilled, you feel drained and unmotivated. It's like climbing a ladder with no end. Every step feels like progress, but you never reach the top. And the worst part is that achievement addiction often comes at the cost of your relationships, mental health, and even creativity. The more you chase external validation, the more disconnected you become from what truly makes you happy. Here's how to overcome this with the 3R framework: reflect, redefine, and reward. Reflect. Ask yourself if you're truly enjoying the process or just chasing outcomes. Finding joy in the journey helps you avoid burnout. Redefine. Write down your own definition of success, whether it's spending time with loved ones, creative freedom, or mental peace. And reward. Celebrate small wins along the way. Acknowledging progress boosts your long-term motivation. When you balance striving for goals with finding joy in the present moment, you will feel more fulfilled, less drained, and truly in control of your own life. So now that we've talked about the trap of chasing endless achievements, let's look at another habit that silently drains your focus and productivity. We live in a fast-paced world where doing multiple things at once feels like the norm. Answering emails during meetings, scrolling through social media while working, or even watching a tutorial while eating lunch. These habits make us feel busy, but the truth is that multitasking doesn't make you more productive, it makes you less effective. In fact, a study by Stanford University revealed that frequent multitaskers perform worse in tasks requiring focus and memory compared to those who work on one thing at a time. Why? Because multitasking is actually task switching. Every time you switch tasks, your brain needs time to refocus, and this mental switching costs you up to 40% of your productive time. Multitasking is like trying to type a report while watching a movie or a series. Neither gets your full attention, and the quality of both suffers while increasing the chances for mistakes. Over time, this habit not only lowers the quality of your work, but also leaves you mentally exhausted. So to break free from the multitasking trap, use the focus method. Filter one thing, clear interruptions, use Pomodoro, and single task mindset. Prioritize your tasks and focus on what matters the most. Commit to completing one task at a time before moving to the next. Eliminate distractions by silencing notifications and keeping your phone out of sight. Work in 25-minute focused intervals with breaks. And remember, multitasking slows you down. Quality over quantity always wins. Listen, I can't stress enough. Multitasking might make you feel busy, but it ultimately slows you down and reduces the quality of your work. When you focus on one thing at a time, you will find that you are more efficient, less stressed, and able to produce better results. Finally, let's talk about one habit that almost all of us are guilty of, and it's probably the hardest to break. I call it attachment to your phone. We live in a world where our phones have practically become extensions of ourselves, and let's face it, we can't imagine life without them. Ever forgot your phone at home? That wave of panic is almost unbearable, right? Even during concerts, events, or family dinners, instead of enjoying the experience, we are busy recording it or scrolling through notifications. And the result is that we are missing out on the moment while being trapped in an endless loop of distractions. From waking up to going to bed, our phones are always within arm's reach. But this constant attachment silently drains our focus, creativity, and your mental well-being. It's not just about the time spent on phones, it's about the mental clutter that they create. Studies by Rescue Time reveal that the average person checks their phone 58 times a day, spending over 3 hours on it. Imagine how much more you could accomplish if even half of that time was redirected to something meaningful. Phones are designed to be addictive, with app developers leveraging infinite scrolling and constant notifications to keep you hooked. And this keeps your brain on high alert, making it harder to focus on deep work or even relax. The scary part is that this overdependence doesn't just waste time, it affects your mental clarity, relationships, and overall productivity. As the psychologist Adam Elter said, the most precious commodity in the world today is not money, it's attention. And our phones are stealing it without us even realizing it. Here's how you can try to get rid of this habit. Design boundaries. Set phone-free hours in the morning and evening to reclaim your mental space. Eliminate triggers. Turn off your non-essential notifications and remove apps that encourage mindless scrolling. Time off. Schedule regular breaks from your phone, like a digital detox day, every single week. Alternatives. Find non-digital ways to fill your downtime, like journaling, reading, or taking a walk. Create intentional use habits. Before picking up your phone, ask yourself, what am I using this for? This helps you avoid aimless scrolling. Hide the phone. Keep your phone out of reach or in another room while working or spending time with your loved ones. Phones are incredible tools, but they should work for us and not control us. By creating boundaries and being more intentional with your phone usage, you will notice more focus, clarity, and time for things that truly matter. And that wraps up the video for today. Let's quickly recap the 5 habits that are keeping you stuck and how to overcome them. The first problem was infomania. To deal with this, use the 3C approach. Next was the knowing doing trap. To avoid this, follow the 3A formula. Then we talked about achievement addiction. The solution here is the 3R framework. The fourth problem was multitasking. Break free using the focus method. And finally, we discussed attachment to your phone. To overcome this, remember to detach. By addressing these habits with the frameworks that we discussed, you will see a massive shift in productivity, focus, and overall well-being. Make sure to drop a comment below. What's the one habit that you want to work on, and which solution are you excited to try first? It was Peter from Mindy. I'll see you in the next one.